Hey, beautiful people. So, really quick, I want to talk about scarcity mindsets. So, the other day, I ran across a post about people who have scarcity mindsets. And I thought that this would be a really good topic because there are a lot of women who do not realize that they are operating from this toxic mindset. And it could be for a number of reasons. But one reason could be that this is generational. This is more of like a generational mindset because you had the grandmother, you had the sisters, you had the cousins, you had the people in your circles. Like, these are just the conversations and the thought process of the people that they've been raised around. And so let me start by reading what a scarcity mindset is, ladies. This is for any of the ladies who have never heard of this before. This is the definition. A scarcity mindset is the belief that there is a limited amount of resources, opportunities, and success available. When we operate from this mindset, we see others as competitors rather than collaborators. This can create a toxic environment where jealousy, envy, and destructive behaviors thrive. Now, let me read the quote that I saw. So this is the quote. A scarcity mindset will have you trying to compete with the very people God intended for you to build and grow with. This is powerful. I'm going to read it one more time. A scarcity mindset will have you trying to compete with the very people God intended for you to build and grow with. So let's get into this. What are some characteristics of a person that has a scarcity mindset? The fear of missing out. You have a lot of people who are like gatekeepers. They will not share information. They won't lend a helping hand even though somebody helped them. They won't teach you anything. They won't do anything, put in a good word for you. Like, they won't do anything to help you move forward because they feel like if they help you, that'll take the opportunities away from them. And this is something that's really important that we all need to understand. Is when God puts a blessing and it has your name on it, there is nobody living can take that from you. I don't care how many people you help. I don't care how many classes you teach. I don't care how many hands you hold. I don't care how many referrals or whatever it is that you help people to do better. When there is a blessing for you and it has your name on it and it's assigned to you, that is for you and for you only. Nobody can take that from you, ladies. And then there is this competition over collaboration. There are a lot of times when you can actually collaborate with a person, when you can learn and when you can put something together, 2 of you, 3 or 4 of you, and you can build something that is powerful. But you have this mindset of their success is like a threat to you, like they're a threat to you. Everything they do, you just feel threatened. And so that kind of hinders growth, and then that kind of stops you from being able to collaborate. It would probably blow your mind to know how many people have been competing with you and you didn't even know it. Right? There are people who will literally be competing with you and your mind is so fixed on God and your mind is just in a totally different place. You're in a totally different season and they don't know your story, but they're literally competing with you and your blessings, which is a waste of time to compete with somebody else and look at somebody else and judge what they got going on. Because like I said before, when God puts somebody's name on a blessing, there is nothing you can do that can take that blessing from them. It is theirs and it will always be theirs. And then you have the zero to some thinking. The zero to some thinking is there are some people who really feel like if one person get blessed, then somebody else is going to lose. Like, they don't believe that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people can be blessed sporadically, or they can be blessed at the same time. You really have some people who feel like, well, if she's getting blessed, then nobody else is getting blessed. If he gets blessed, then there's no way that I can get blessed because he's getting blessed. And just because somebody else gets blessed doesn't mean that you have to lose, right? And then you have insecurities, right? You have people who feel insecure about their own achievements and their own self-worth. And so this kind of carries over into the way that they do business. It carries over into the conversations, and then it carries over to their relationships. So then you have all these missed opportunities where you could have been collaborating, you could have been learning, you could have been growing, you could have been elevating. A lot of times it takes more than one person to do some things. A lot of times it takes the thought process of more than one person, especially if they have a little bit more knowledge about things. And there are some people who they won't ask questions because they're not going to tell me the truth. They're not really going to help me. They're going to do something to sabotage me. Like, there's just so many mindsets that can hinder you. But I think one of the most important things that we fail to realize is when you have this mindset that you can have personal burnout. And what I mean by personal burnout is we all know people who try to outdo everybody. It don't matter what you do, they gotta outdo you, they gotta outtalk you. Sometimes it's the truth, sometimes it's lies, but they just live this life, and it's just this constant circle, just this constant rotation of trying to outdo everybody, trying to impress everybody, trying to prove a point, trying to be better than, trying to do more, even if it puts them in situations where they put themselves in a bind to where they can lose everything. Right? So it's just really important that we understand some of the characteristics, and that if we are operating from some of these characteristics, then we need to really sit down and just think about what are some things we can do to change this toxic mindset, because how far can it really get you? How far can it really get you? So one of the reasons why I have these conversations is because whether you believe it or not, there are some women who are going to watch this and they struggle with this. They struggle with not being jealous. They struggle with not comparing. They struggle with not being envious. And there are some times where they really don't want to feel that way and they can't help it and they don't understand why, right? So you need to figure out what the root of the problem is. But I guarantee you there are women that you sit next to, that you talk to, you have conversations with, that you kin to, and women that you love, and they struggle with this scarcity mindset. And so I am a believer of how you start your morning. Like, every small element, everything you do, the small things in the morning, they can affect your whole day. But I'm also a believer in the way you end your day actually matters just as much. And so I'm going to end this with some affirmations about scarcity. And I hope that this has helped somebody. It would be good to kind of read up on this. I'm sure they have books, they have YouTube videos, and just kind of get knowledge and just awareness of how this can really affect you, because this is a toxic mindset. This is a toxic thought process. And I'll say it 100 times, ladies, and I really need y'all to get this. Whatever is meant for you is meant for you, and there is not anybody on this earth, walking on this earth, can take away a blessing that God has assigned to you. So no worries. You don't have to compete. You don't have to try to prove a point. You don't have to try to compare yourself to other people, because everybody's story is different. Everybody's journey is different. You don't know what that person went through to be where they are now. The same way people don't know what you've been through to be in the place you are now. Like, everybody has their own story. So to compare yourself to others people's success and feel like you should be further than where you're supposed to be. No, you are where you're supposed to be. And when God feels that you're ready for that next level and for that next door, and then he will present those opportunities to you. But your assignment is to be prepared when it happens, right? So here are some affirmations, ladies. Affirm. I am enough just as I am. My worth is not diminished by the success of others. Affirm. I embrace abundance in all areas of my life. There is enough for everyone. Affirm. I attract opportunities that are meant for me. My path is unique and valuable. And affirm. I am confident in my abilities and trust that my hard work will bring success.